What is up, everybody? This is your crypto update for the weekend of Saturday, July 10th, Sunday, July 11th, and what is happening this week, because we have a lot of major announcements coming out in the entire crypto world over the next couple days. Just this morning, we had a very shocking report be released from El Salvador saying they're not really feeling Bitcoin anymore. They're not really liking it. And this is just mind-blowing, especially since they just made Bitcoin legal tender. Also, we have some major news come out from TikTok banning cryptocurrency outright on the platform. We're going to go over that. Remember, that's hundreds of millions of people where it's going to be a little harder to talk about crypto, and it's a ban that's been in place, changed in their policies. So we're going to go over that as well. And at the end, we're going to talk a little bit about Elon Musk, what has been going on with him. He's been tweeting out quite a bit recently with regards to Dogecoin, with regards to Bitcoin, and a little bit just with the crypto market in general. So we're going to go over all of that and more. And if you guys are just joining us, please be sure to like the video. Let's try and kickstart the channel again and get the video up to 1,000 likes. If we get to 1,000 likes, we will do a giveaway in tomorrow's video. I've been thinking about doing a giveaway for a while. We just need to get the channel kickstarted again, get a little bit of a boost, and I think this should be able to do it. So anyways, the entire crypto market today is actually looking pretty good. Right now, the market's up. It's pretty stable, but this is good seeing that we did have a bit of a crash, a bit of a correction over the last couple of days. And the good news is, right now, the market is up right around 1%. Bitcoin had crossed 34,000 earlier this morning. It's back down. Right now, it's at $33,735 per coin. Ethereum is at 2,100. Binance coin is, everything's pretty flat this morning. The big mover, let's say, is Dogecoin. It's down about 3.6%, but for the most part, the market is pretty flat. The big news going on here, though, we're going to get into a couple of technicals in a minute. I want to go over this breaking news story with El Salvador, because this is really huge. We had all thought El Salvador was so excited about crypto, so excited about Bitcoin. This could change how people view crypto across the entire world, because if everything went well in El Salvador, maybe we would see a bunch of more countries do the same thing. But surprising thing is this morning a new report was released from El Salvador saying that a majority of Salvadorans are skeptical of Bitcoin as a currency. So there was a poll. It was only done on about 1,500 people. It says 1,233 people across the nation between July 1st and July 4th. But they said it's pretty representative of the entire population. And according to the poll, the results show that around 54% of people in El Salvador viewed the adoption of Bitcoin as not at all correct. They don't agree with it at all. And they said, and 24% of the people said it's only a little correct. Less than 20% of the population of this poll said that they fully approve of the government moving into crypto and making Bitcoin legal tender. And this is something that is a bit surprising. It's a bit surprising, because right now what we have thought, what we have been seeing for a while is that, let me double check to make sure the stream's working, because on my end it says there might be some issues, but what we have seen, let me make sure that this is working. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's working okay. But the surprising thing here is that what we're seeing is that they should be the country that is pro-Bitcoin, pro-Ethereum, pro-crypto, and what we're seeing is that, look, that's not really happening. Most of the people in the country are concerned about it, and they don't really agree with the decision made by the government. I'm going to keep this running on my phone to make sure everything is working. But so they don't really agree with what's going on with the government. And that's a little concerning, because this is supposed to be the first country that is making a push into crypto, open the floodgates, open the door to a bunch of other countries doing the same exact thing. So it's concerning seeing that El Salvador is not pushing as hard into crypto, and people in the country are not as excited about it. So, is this working? Yeah, okay, it's working. On my end, it shows that it's not working, but I'm just checking it on my phone. It says everything's okay. But this is concerning because right now, like we've talked about in the past, there's really three main issues with a country making Bitcoin legal tender. The first thing is that with El Salvador, it's not the biggest economy in the world. So countries that are going to be looking to make Bitcoin legal tender are not going to be like the powerhouses like the United States, or like, let's say, Canada, or even China, of course not China, or countries in Europe, those countries are not going to be the ones that are going to go all into Bitcoin. So countries right now like El Salvador, Tanzania, maybe Argentina, or a couple of other countries in Latin America, those are the countries that would make a bigger push towards crypto because they don't want to be based on the US dollar. There's not as much of a risk. Their own currencies aren't as strong. So the thing that's surprising here is that we're seeing countries that would be ideal candidates now saying, you know what, maybe there's some issues. One of the big issues with a country like El Salvador is that in terms of internet access, the only way that Bitcoin really is going to work as legal tender is if everyone in the country has internet access. If internet access isn't good, you can't go to a store and pay with Bitcoin. You can't go to a store and pay with any sort of crypto. And the problem with El Salvador, it's the second lowest ranked country in South America in terms of internet access, only ahead of Honduras. So that's a big issue. The second issue is that people are concerned about volatility. And according to this poll, what they said is that 65% of the people said they were not willing to be paid in crypto at all. They don't want to be paid in crypto. And essentially that has to do with the volatility. That's the second big issue. People are concerned about volatility. And one of the third biggest things is that a lot of people say that they just simply don't know about crypto. In this study, it says that about 46% of the population know nothing about crypto. 46% of this survey said they knew absolutely nothing, zero, about crypto. So when you start looking at the numbers, it's like, it's a great idea to have Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto become used as currencies in other countries. But the problem is right now, we still are in that learning phase, in that very, very early stage where some people know about it, some people don't know about it, some people feel comfortable with it, but majority of the people either don't know enough about crypto, it makes them nervous, and it's just not easy enough to use. So right now, that's why we're seeing the results of this poll the way they are. In my opinion, I think long term we'll be fine, but the thing is right now, it's just really too early to say, oh, you could go pay with Bitcoin everywhere and you could get paid with Bitcoin, because the bottom line is people don't really, not everyone understands crypto. Or not everyone has even interacted with crypto before. Like in the US, only 6% of people in the US own crypto. Imagine the percentages in a smaller country that's not as wealthy as the US. So something just to keep in mind. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Andrew. What is up? Next story is going to be what is going on with TikTok. So I don't know if you guys have seen, but TikTok just came out with a story that in a new policy in their documents that made it that they're officially banning users from promoting cryptocurrency on the platform. And this comes at an interesting time because what we recently saw is that Google had updated their advertising policies to allow cryptocurrency exchanges to promote their services, their products on Google. But now we're seeing TikTok come out and say the opposite. TikTok is banning users from promoting crypto. And it's not just crypto. Among the list of prohibited services, they said it's like management of money assets, loan and credit cards, trading platforms, cryptocurrency, foreign exchanges, pyramid schemes, investment services. So it's not just cryptocurrency, and it's not just trying to eliminate scam coins. They're saying no. You can't advertise trading platforms. You can't advertise any credit cards. You can't advertise any investment services. So what that looks like to me is that people can't have links on TikTok anymore related to even Webull or Robinhood or crypto. I'm not 100% sure, but when they're saying anything investment related, like all financial services, that falls under the all financial services umbrella. Webull, Robinhood, Coinbase, and even with meme coins that are scams. And essentially what they said is that right now, what we have been seeing is that a lot of times there's a huge amount of branded content on TikTok. Usually they said from poor informed commentators who lure in followers to invest in complete scam coins, complete just coins that have no utility at all. And we've seen it happen a couple of times with coins that have pumped up 10, 12x in price simply because a lot of people on TikTok or YouTube start talking about it. So what they said is right now, what they're doing is they want to crack down on that. But the thing that I have a problem with this, like I do have a pretty big problem. And the problem I have with this is that essentially what we're seeing is it's not just cracking down on like scams and like garbage coins that are just designed to scam people out of their money. It's not just cracking down on those, but it's cracking down on all investment. It says all financial services and products are prohibited. So that's what I have a problem with, because it's like there's nothing wrong with investing or financial services. There's something wrong with people telling others to invest in complete garbage coins or garbage stocks or, penny stocks because they own it. And I've seen dozens of videos like that where people like, this is the next stock that's going to do extremely well, or this is the next crypto. And their video gets like, 60, 70,000 likes. So I get them cracking down on those. But what about all the people who are just talking about investments, talking about crypto, and providing a way, like information? Because there's a difference between providing information, like what we do, and we talk about what's going on, how I see it, and there's a difference between saying buy this coin because it's going to skyrocket of 50x. Like, I never am going to tell you guys this coin or this stock is going up 1,000%. I'm like, oh, I think this could do well, I might invest in it. But most of the time we just cover news in general and how that relates to prices and how that could impact it. We don't just say this is going to 50x and we say like the smallest little coin out there, because that's just not right. So I think they could have gone about this a little more like in a more specific and tactical way, rather than just say all financial services and products are prohibited. They could have still allowed, I would say, like Webull and Robinhood and Coinbase and platforms that are useful and educational, but instead they said all financial services and products are prohibited. People could still post videos on them, but they said essentially all advertising, like all crypto ads, are no longer going to be allowed on TikTok. And this is the complete opposite of what happened with Google just a couple of weeks ago. Back on June 10th, exactly 1 month ago today, Google had reversed its crypto ads ban, which people were saying was a positive sign for crypto. And they said essentially now we could see crypto exchanges and wallet operators advertise their products on YouTube, on Google Ads. And so they had changed that. Recently, I've actually seen a lot of ads related to not only crypto wallets, but I've seen a lot of ads actually for Kraken. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but on YouTube, a couple of times watching videos, I've seen ads for Kraken, which is a crypto exchange. And so we are starting to pick things up, and that I think is a great sign for crypto, seeing Google allow for crypto exchanges and crypto wallets and ads like that. And I think they are doing a good job of balancing, preventing people from getting scammed, but also letting crypto companies advertise, because they let exchanges and wallets advertise, but still they said that a majority of junk coins and junk projects are still not allowed to be advertised. So it's good to see that, and I think we'll probably see TikTok do something similar, where they allow for people to talk about the exchanges or allow companies to advertise exchanges or wallets. But I think they're going to prevent people from advertising and talking about like junk coins or just more of the investment advice in general. But we'll see what happens. It's just interesting to see how what's going on with TikTok is the complete opposite of what happened with Google just the other day. So just like 2 weeks ago. So crypto ads are no longer allowed on TikTok, but Google, on the other hand, they said that they allow for people to allow companies to advertise crypto exchanges and crypto wallets. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit about some key technical indicators right now with Bitcoin. So there's a couple of things I want to go over. First of all, let's go over what's going on with the charts, the 100-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, how those are looking right now. We don't look at too many aspects, too many technical indicators, but I think these are pretty important. So we're going to start off with these, and then there's two more that are very, very indicative of what's going to come. So first of all, with the 100-day moving average, what we're seeing is that we still are below the 100-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. This is a sign that, we're still in a bit of a lull in the crypto space. We have seen it cross above it quite a few times, and right now we are very close to breaking out above that 100-day moving average on the 4-hour chart yet again. And what we said multiple times is that if we can break above this 100-day moving average and stay there, not just break above it like we saw on June 3rd or on June 5th. If we could break above it and stay there for a couple of days, that would be a sign that we're entering a bull market. However, that hasn't been the case recently. Recently, we've broken through it quite a few times, but we just haven't been able to sustain that break. But honestly, things are looking a lot better, not just with the 100-day moving average, but also when we're starting to look at what is going on with something, let's call it the P indicator. It's P-U-E-L-L, so I would say it's pronounced Puel. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but we'll say Puel multiple or P multiple. And essentially what we're seeing with this right now, it's a very simple indicator, very simple metric that basically tracks Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin mining behavior to understand the tops and bottoms of the market. And when we look at the history of this indicator, it has actually it has done extremely well in predicting the tops and bottoms of the market. For example, the P indicator is this red line right here, and what we're seeing is that in 2012 it dropped. When it reached its low, that's when the market had reached its low before we started a massive bull run. Then in 2015, similar thing happened. We saw reach a low, and at the same time the price started to increase. And then again, 2019, we saw a low on the P indicator, the red line, and then with the same with the price, we saw it increase dramatically. So now what we're seeing again is that we have reached a low. We have reached in this green level right now for the P multiple, which essentially is dipping into the buy zone for only the fifth time ever in all of crypto history. You can see in 2012, 2015, 2019, early in 2020, and now again. So there's a couple of things here that are good signs, but also some things to just keep in mind and take into consideration. The first thing is what's going on with this multiple. While it is in the buy zone for the fifth time ever, and it normally is great at predicting price floors and when we're going to see a bottom at the market, the thing to keep in mind is that this is almost a little bit on the what would you say? I'm trying to think of the word. Like artificial. It's almost artificial right now because it's not the natural cycle of the market, in the sense that the reason this dropped so dramatically, like if we look at it, it went straight down. And the reason that happened is because this tracks Bitcoin mining. And what we just saw is what happened in China. China banned Bitcoin mining entirely, caused everyone to be kicked out of China. And as a result of this, the difficulty in Bitcoin mining had a record drop. It became significantly easier because over 50% of the world's Bitcoin mining was just completely stopped, banned, and they had to move elsewhere. So as a result of this, the reason why we saw such a big drop in this P multiple was because we saw what happened with China banning Bitcoin mining. Either way, we were seeing it steadily decrease and steadily drop down. But the thing is, getting into this green buy zone would have never happened if what was going on in China, if China had never banned crypto. So we had seen it decreasing, but we saw a massive, massive drop. And so it may still take us a little longer to reach a bottom based on this multiple, even though we're in the buy zone, simply because in a couple of weeks, we're going to start to see it go back up significantly because of what is going on with Bitcoin miners leaving China, looking to other countries in Europe, even in Russia and in the US. So we'll see what happens. But this red line, the Puel multiple, follows Bitcoin mining, and it's fairly good at predicting tops and bottoms of the market. But the thing is that we haven't reached the reason why we're seeing it sort of in the buy zone right now, dropping back down into the green, is almost because of what happened in China. The other side to this is that we haven't entered the red zone, like that red line, which would say we should sell, like the sell zone. We never reached that, even at all-time highs earlier in the year. In every bull market, we have at least reached it. In 2012, we reached it. In 2014, we reached it. 2017, we also reached it. This time, we didn't reach that level. So we'll see what happens. But there's a good and a bad thing, a good and a bad sign to this. The good sign that we entered the buy zone, which means we could have reached the bottom of the market. The negative is that it might have been artificial because of what went on in China. But then the other good news is that we never entered this red zone, which is the top of the market indicator. So there's like two good things, one bad thing. And ultimately, I would just keep an eye on this because looking at it, you know what, we still are ultimately in the green zone. Could be a sign that we reached the bottom of the market. Other thing going on with technicals is I want to talk about this because a couple of analysts have been talking quite a bit about liquidity in the market, saying how Bitcoin has been so choppy. We've seen so many ups and downs of 10%. And this is one of the things that the SEC has come out with multiple times in the past and said they don't like about crypto, or why they've delayed decisions for Bitcoin, Ethereum, ETFs. But the thing to keep in mind is that big price swings are always going to be present in a market with low liquidity. So essentially what that means is when there's not a lot of money in the market, and like crypto, there's $1.4 trillion, which is a lot. It's a lot of money. But when you think about it in the big scheme of things in terms of asset classes or even investments, or like if you think of the stock market, there's tens of trillions of dollars in the US stock market alone. So when you start thinking about that, crypto is still very, very small, not a lot of liquidity, and Bitcoin by itself, $600 billion. So when you start looking at those numbers, one company could invest $3 or $4 or $5 billion into crypto, into Bitcoin, cause the price to go up a couple percent. So when you start having the impact where one or two companies can influence the price because there's just not a lot of money involved, well, it makes sense that we see markets, be very volatile. And one concern of a lot of analysts recently has been with regards to the market being too volatile. And the thing we got to keep in mind is that this is just the natural progression of things. When an asset class first is starting, people are nervous about it. They don't put a lot of money into it. And then over time, more and more money is put in. So right now, it's like, we got to understand that this is the way all markets work. You're not just going to see tens of trillions of dollars poured into something the moment it's like created. It's not going to happen. It takes time. And right now we're continuing to build up. And I would say with everything going on in the market between the 100-day moving average, looking like we could be crossing this very, very soon on the 4-hour chart, between what's going on with the P multiple, the PWEL multiple, and what's going on with volatility and regulations, I think we're setting ourselves up for a bull run in the second half of 2021. Obviously, there's no way of knowing for sure, but there's a lot of positives right now between this 100-day moving average, between the PWEL multiple being in the buy zone, and between regulators looking to get a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF approved. But let me know what you guys think. Those are some of the key indicators that I've been looking at. Comment down below any indicators that you might have been looking at recently, or things that you think about the market. Do you think we're going to enter a bull run in the second half of the year? You think we're going to enter a bear market? Me personally, I think we're going to enter a bull run because of all those things that we mentioned previously. The big catalyst for me, the positive catalyst, would be the SEC approving a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, because right now all we need is some institutional players, big money players, to get involved, and that's going to be the moment we see crypto really take off. Imagine Blackstone puts a couple $1 billion in. Well, then BlackRock's going to put money in. Then Goldman Sachs is going to put money in. Then JP Morgan and Bank of America. All these companies are just going to follow suit, and it's going to be a snowball effect, because not one single one of these companies is going to want to miss out. They're not going to want to miss out. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens here. Did this go on the wrong... This might have gone on the wrong stream. That's weird. Moving on. Let me figure out what's going on with this stream, guys. But comment down below what other topics you guys want to talk about. What's your favorite altcoin right now? We have a couple things I still want to go over with regards to Dogecoin. We're going to go over that at the end of the video. Oh, they moved. This stream got moved to the wrong title and the wrong description. Let me fix that up for you guys. I'm just fixing that up real quick. Here we go. I didn't even notice this. There we go. We fixed that. Now we're gonna go back here. I want to add the correct picture. I was looking at this stream on my end and I'm like, what is going on? Why does this look all screwed up? Why does it not have my picture? Why does it not have anything we did? Okay, there. Fixed now. Should be good. But anyways, let's move on to the next topic. Let's go over what is going on with Goldman Sachs. I want to talk about what's going on with Goldman Sachs because recently there's been a lot coming out with regards to Bitcoin and Ethereum prices and how Ethereum can flip Bitcoin. We're already seeing that Ethereum is flipping Bitcoin in a number of ways. We are seeing that the total number of active wallet addresses has, like for Ethereum, has surpassed Bitcoin. That's a great sign. In addition to this, what we also are seeing is that Ethereum is getting a lot more institutional demand recently. We are seeing that institutions are starting to pick Ethereum significantly more of the time than Bitcoin because of energy efficiency with, in terms of energy efficiency with Ethereum. Right now, with Ethereum, what Goldman Sachs has said is that we have a lot of upgrades coming up for Ethereum. Right now, we have ETH 2.0 upgrades, which are just starting to be rolled out. They said because of this, they think institutions are going to start to get more involved with Ethereum. In addition to this, what we're also seeing is that London hard fork is going to be taking place in August of this year. And what this means is that we're going to have a couple of new things integrated into Ethereum that are going to make it a lot better. First thing is EIP 1559. This upgrade is going to make it so Ethereum introduced scarcity. And essentially what that means is we're going to see that Ethereum starts to have more of a supply cap. Right now, there's an unlimited supply of Bitcoin, of Ethereum, and that's one concern of a lot of institutional investors. They're concerned because they're like, oh, Ethereum doesn't have a hard cap. There's an unlimited amount, and because of that, a lot of people don't want to invest in it. So those are two things why. In addition to this, Goldman Sachs has come out and said that the reason why they think Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin in terms of market cap is essentially because of the use cases behind Ethereum. They said right now, Ethereum has NFTs, they have smart contracts, they have, what else do they have? They have like DeFi in general, and they have thousands of projects being built on the network. And because of this, what they're saying is that, look, they think Ethereum is better than Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin doesn't have all of these applications being built on the platform. Bitcoin doesn't have all like NFTs and smart contracts. They just don't have that. So as a result, they said because of all of the practical use cases for Ethereum in the real world, that they think that Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin in terms of market cap. And I agree with them. I think, you know what, right now, what we're seeing is that many institutions have always compared Bitcoin to gold. They've said Bitcoin is the digital gold. But now what they're starting to realize is, yes, it's a store of value and it's like there, but the thing is there's also so many other cryptos that have much more utility than Bitcoin. So as a result of this, they said, look, in the short term, like gold is competing with crypto in the same way that it's competing with other risky assets. And ultimately, they think right now that gold is still going to be bigger than crypto for a long time in the future. They said eventually they think it could catch up. But right now, it's still very early on for crypto. They just think that Ethereum is catching up, and Ethereum will be able to overtake Bitcoin as the dominant digital store of value. Moving on, if you guys are just joining us, please be sure to like the video. I got distracted for a minute there because I had to fix the live stream. It was like I was looking at it and it was not showing the picture I had posted or anything related to what I'd posted. So If you guys can, just please be sure to like the stream. But let's continue. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's go on to the next topic. I want to talk about what's going on with Bitcoin miners, because everyone talks about what stocks should you invest in, how can you get exposure to Bitcoin maybe without getting exposed, without putting money directly in Bitcoin. And the thing that we've been seeing going on recently is a couple of Bitcoin mining companies have been skyrocketing. Their stock prices have been doing extremely well. They've been mining significantly more Bitcoin, and all of this traces back to what's been going on in China. So recently, what happened is China banned cryptocurrency trading activities. Then they banned crypto mining. They've cracked down that all Bitcoin miners in China have been forced to leave, and as a result of this, Bitcoin mining has become significantly easier. So then, now companies like Riot Blockchain and Marathon Digital, these are both Bitcoin mining companies based in North America, and as a result of this, all of their mining equipment has not been affected by what's been going on in China. So now that means that they've been able to continue to mine Bitcoin, and with the difficulty drop in mining, they've been able to mine significantly more. Marathon Digital reported 17% increase in Bitcoin production in the month of June. They didn't change anything. All that happened was China banned Bitcoin mining. In addition to this, Riot Blockchain Bitcoin production jumped more than 400% year over year. And as a result of this, and this was all caused by what happened in China. So what we're seeing is that Bitcoin mining companies that are based in the US or based in North America or even based in Europe, their stock prices and their companies are doing significantly better without having changed a single thing. And despite all this, Riot Blockchain is still purchasing millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars worth of equipment. Earlier this year, they announced that they purchased 42,000 S19J ant miners from Bitmain for $138.5 million. So if you guys are looking at stocks to invest in that get exposure to crypto, these are Bitcoin mining companies that benefit directly when Bitcoin is doing well. They benefit directly when China banned Bitcoin mining, because essentially right now Bitcoin mining is cheaper, and they're continuing to mine Bitcoin. So right now, these stock ticker symbols are like RIOT, Riot, for Riot Blockchain, and Marathon Digital is MARA, Mara. So those are the stock ticker symbols for both of them. Either way, though, they're continuing to add more mining equipment. Mining has become easier with the ban in China, and I think this is going to be something that continues over the next couple of months until we start seeing all the companies that were mining Bitcoin in China move elsewhere and be able to get set up shop in other countries. Next up is the story with what's going on in another country, and actually in Paraguay. They said that there's a lawmaker in Paraguay who on Twitter came out the other day and said that he is expecting to submit and introduce a new crypto piece of legislation next week on Wednesday, July 14th. And he says that I'm here to unite Paraguay. That's why we decided with Senator Silva Facetti to present together the bill #Bitcoin on Wednesday, July 14th. Stay tuned, since there will be a mega surprise for Paraguay and the world. Something giant is coming. So what we're seeing is that many people had speculated that this could mean Paraguay is doing the same thing that El Salvador did, that Paraguay may be making Bitcoin legal tender. However, that's not the case. He came out, he clarified his statements, and he said, look, what we're doing is we want regulators and banks to participate in making this bill, in the specific details of it, because they want people in Paraguay and foreigners to operate crypto legally in the country. Right now, there's a lot of illegal transactions that take place not only in Paraguay, but also in other countries around the world. And they said as a result of this, they want to introduce legislation to essentially make the country a more crypto-friendly country, set some put a framework in place that allows people to use crypto, transact with crypto, encourage people in countries around the world to look towards Paraguay as well. So it's not that they're going to make Bitcoin legal tender, but it is a first step in the right direction in terms of making crypto much more prominent in countries all around the world. So we'll see what happens there, but that's what's going on with Paraguay. We will see what exactly the details are of this law on July 14th. On Wednesday, July 14th, in just a couple of days. But I think this is interesting to see more countries around the world starting to introduce legislation, pass bills, pass laws that may not legalize Bitcoin, make Bitcoin legal tender, but at least is moving us in the right direction. What's up, Antonio? Rasta? What is up, Marcus? Let's keep moving. We got a couple more topics I want to cover. And next up, we're going to cover what is going on in China. So right now what we're seeing in China is that China has opened up the digital yuan whitelist to tens of millions of citizens. And right now what we're seeing is that the central bank digital currency, the digital yuan in China, is not yet available to everyone. It's not yet available to everyone, but they've been rolling it out more and more. There are subways in Shanghai that allow people to pay with the digital yuan. They did a red envelope lottery system about a month ago where they sent out over $8 million in the digital yuan to people in the country. And now what they're saying is that they're continuing to expand their testing stages of the digital yuan by allowing 10 million people to get access to use and further experiment with the digital yuan. So essentially what they said is that citizens interested in being part of this initiative can request their inclusion in the new trial phase at selected banks. More than 10 million citizens are already on the whitelist, and that they have confidence that this program is going to continue to increase, continue to grow, and there's going to be millions and millions of more people that are going to have access to the digital yuan, be able to use it in their bank accounts, and the volume that is being used for the digital yuan is going to continue to increase. This is something that's interesting because I think this has a lot to do with why we're seeing all the bans put in place on crypto in China, because they're continuing to roll out their own central bank digital currency, their own digital yuan. While it isn't the same as Bitcoin or Ethereum, it is a virtual currency. And as a result of this, China sees Bitcoin, Ethereum, and any crypto as a competitor, as something that could potentially harm it. So I think that's why we've been seeing them put so many restrictions into place lately with regards to crypto and Bitcoin, simply because they don't want anything to interfere with their digital yuan. They had that red envelope lottery system that they did just a couple of days ago, a couple of 2 or 3 weeks ago, where they sent out $8 million to random people. They also had they installed digital yuan ATMs at subway stations, digital yuan ATMs. They also, I think there were 6,000 of them, and they also made it available for people to use the digital yuan on certain select subway systems. So if you just look at all the data, it shows that they are getting really, really into the testing phase and into rolling out their own digital yuan, and they don't want anything to interfere with that. So I think we're going to continue to see any news for regards to Bitcoin and crypto coming out of China is going to be negative. It's going to be negative over the next couple of months and probably forever. So the thing is this is like a good and a bad thing. The bad sign is that there's 1.4 million people in China that may never be able to get access to Bitcoin if the government prevents it. People who already have it, they'll still have it, but it may be almost impossible for people in China to get access to crypto exchanges, especially if they have a Chinese bank account. The good news here is that, you know what? The market is already taking this into account. At this point, we know nothing great is coming out of China with regards to crypto and Bitcoin regulations. Nothing's going to be good. And I think we're already seeing this factored into the market, because the other day when we saw that a software firm called Quado Cultural Development, we saw that this software firm was shut down because they did business with a crypto company. The market didn't really react. It was like, you know what? We're expecting bad news. We're expecting bad news come out of China. So it's like, nothing's going to happen with the market. And I think we're going to continue to see this, where bad news comes out of China, the market isn't going to react as much. And that's a good thing, because previously when China came out and said that they were banning Bitcoin mining, or banning cryptocurrency trading activities, then we saw the market crash 10%, 12% in a single day. This time around, they banned the company, and they cracked down even further, the market was like, you know what? We're expecting this. It's nothing new. It's whatever. So I think that's great news because ultimately, if anything somewhat positive comes out of China with regards to crypto, if it ever changes, that's going to be a positive catalyst for the market. A positive catalyst. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But for me, it's like the market expects bad news from China. It's not, anytime they come out with something new, it's not going to cause a crash. It's not going to cause a major correction. We've seen that already starting to happen where people are expecting bad news from China. So we'll see what happens. What's up, Andrew? What's up, Antonio? Glad you like the studio. Thank you. Davey DR. What's up in Belgium? Wyatt, Giovanni. What's up, Andrew? Zaxi. Who else is with us? Trent. What is up, Trent? John Brown. What's up, John Brown? Okay, we got a couple more topics I still want to go over, but ultimately, the China stuff, it's like we're expecting bad news. If anything else negative comes out of the country, it's like the market isn't going to have a big reaction. And in my mind, it's better to have that sort of stability, expecting bad news, expecting the worst from China. If for some reason, if something ever positive comes out, that'll just only help crypto, only help the market, because no one's expecting anything good with regards to crypto regulations coming out of the country. If you guys are just joining us, Luis, Frederick, James, Andrew, if you guys are just joining us, please be sure to like the video. Let's see if we can get this video up to 1,000 likes. Kickstart the channel again. The video yesterday got 540. So, yeah, I know, Antonio. But, yeah, Andrew, we'll go over a couple of key dates as well. We have key dates coming up with regards to Bitcoin. Specifically, an unlocking where there's going to be tens of thousands of Bitcoin that can be sold. We've talked about this the other day, but there's a key date. It's happening this week, actually. So we have that on the list for today. And also, we'll talk a little bit about a couple of key dates with regards to crypto in general that are happening within the next week or two. So we definitely will talk about that. Anyways, moving on, let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin and Square. We talked about this the other day, but a couple of new pieces of data came out, new information with regards to Jack Dorsey and Square, how he said that Square officially confirmed, Jack Dorsey confirmed that Square is going to be making a hardware wallet for Bitcoin and crypto. This is important because there already are a bunch of hardware wallets out there. But the difference between this one and any other one out there is that this is going to be integrated directly with Cash App. And what Jack Dorsey is trying to do is make it much more secure and easy for people to hold crypto. And make it, because right now when you hold crypto on exchanges, let's say you have crypto on Robinhood or you have crypto on PayPal, the problem with those is that there are no digital wallets connected with it. There are no digital wallets, meaning that if you buy crypto on Robinhood, you can't use it. It's stuck there. Like, yes, Robinhood is coming out and developing a crypto wallet, but that's a big problem. Same with PayPal. Same with a couple of other platforms. If you want to buy crypto on a lot of these newer platforms, you can't do anything with it. And, like, what's the point of having crypto other than, like, I get there's the investment, but a lot of people are like, hey, if I could, I'd buy a Tesla or I'd buy something else with Dogecoin or Bitcoin or Ethereum. So right now, what we're seeing is Jack Dorsey has confirmed that they are officially going to be making a hardware wallet for crypto. It's going to make it so more people are going to have access to crypto and make it more secure and a lot easier to actually use, because that's a problem right now in the crypto world, making sure that crypto stays secure if you keep it on exchanges, making sure that people have access to it. And like I've said in the past, I think a lot of this is going to change with what is going to go on with Apple. I think Apple will be releasing a crypto wallet very soon, within the next year, if not, let's say 12 to 18 months, I think we'll see Apple come out with a major crypto announcement that will make it so much easier for every single person in the entire world to own crypto. Because imagine how many tens of millions of people own iPhones. As soon as Apple comes out with an announcement, it's game over. Crypto is going to start becoming much more mainstream. Speaking of what else is going on, I want to talk about what is going on with Microstrategy, because Microstrategy owns over $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. It's important to see what's going on with them and who's investing in them, because whoever invests in Microstrategy is essentially investing in Bitcoin. So let's go over that. And also, if you guys are just joining us, make sure to like the video. The next topics we have to cover are going to be with Dogecoin, Elon Musk, key dates for Bitcoin, and I think there's one or two other topics that I do want to go over. So if you guys are just joining us, please be sure to like the video. Let's see if we can get the video up to 1,000 likes. Help kickstart the channel again. But let's keep on moving. So right now, Capital International purchased $600 million in Microstrategy stock. And this is important, like I said, because anyone who buys Microstrategy stock is investing in the future of Bitcoin. They're saying that, look, we think Bitcoin's going to do well, and that's could be why they're investing in Microstrategy. Like, obviously, Microstrategy is their own company. They make their own products, but $3 billion of their balance sheet is in crypto. They own over 105,000 Bitcoin. And so if you're investing in Microstrategy, the price is going to be correlated to the price of Bitcoin. So this is important because Capital International is a financial services company. They have billions of dollars under management, and they just invested $500 million into MicroStrategy stock. This is important because not only is this like another major name, another major firm, an investment firm getting involved with Bitcoin in like an indirect way, but also this is a sign that we're starting to see institutions get a lot more comfortable with the idea of getting involved in crypto, finding new ways to get involved in crypto. And this is something that I think is pretty exciting to see some sort of big firm like Capital International get involved with crypto. Moving on, let's talk about what's going on with Dogecoin. Everyone's been asking, what is going on with Dogecoin recently? What's going on? And essentially, what we've been seeing is Dogecoin has been relatively flat over the last couple of weeks. Like last month, it says it's down 37%. But if we look at really since, what is this, April 15th, we're almost at the same levels we were since April 15th. However, the big announcement that came out within the last 48 hours was when we saw the price drop down to right under 20 cents per coin, and then Elon Musk tweeted about it. And everyone says that Elon Musk is starting to lose his impact, lose his influence over the crypto world, because when he's been tweeting, we haven't seen prices react as much. But now what we're seeing is that just the other day, he tweeted, where is the picture? He tweeted right over here, essentially. Bitcoin and Ethereum are pursuing a multi-layer transaction, but base layer transaction is slow, transaction cost is high. There is merit, in my opinion, to Doge maximizing base layer transaction rate and minimizing cost, with exchanges acting as the de facto second layer. But a lot of people spoke about this yesterday. We mentioned it briefly, but the Twitter thread, the thread continues on. He continues to talk more about what exactly he means. So we're going to go over that as well. So as soon as he tweeted that out, though, the important thing is Bitcoin's price not skyrocketed, but it went up 8 or 9% immediately after he tweeted about this. So it's important to see that, first of all, people are saying Elon Musk is losing his influence over the crypto world. It doesn't really seem to be the case. It looks like he still has plenty of influence. And when we start to look at this tweet, he said, the other day, he continues on. This is the first one we talked about. Bitcoin, Ethereum are pursuing multi-layer transaction system. Basically, was saying that Dogecoin, can continue to improve and continue to eventually, maybe one day, better than Ethereum or better than Bitcoin. But then someone else says Doge is already 15 times faster than Bitcoin. Fee drop is easy to achieve. Block size increase is easy to achieve. Block time speed up by 10x is the hardest part. So ultimately, Elon Musk responded to this. This went on for a bit. He said block size and frequency should steadily increase to match the broadly available bandwidth. And then ultimately, he also said that it's not going to be as fast. It's not going to reach Visa speed, as regulated exchanges will act as a de facto second layer. But the perfect should not be the enemy of good. It's still good to increase the base layer transaction speed and lower base layer transaction costs. All this really means is that he's telling people, look, it's important that we continue to see Dogecoin make improvements to its network, whether that's with transaction speeds, make it faster. Because the only way something's going to be widely adopted is if we start to see more and more people actually able to transact on the platform. The other thing is that he's saying we need to see transaction costs lower. It's the same thing with Bitcoin, same thing with Ethereum. That's what the goal of really all these cryptos are. For example, Ethereum, the goal with ETH 2.0 and the EIP 1559 upgrade and all with the London hard fork, all these goals are simply to make it so, whether Ethereum, they want to make it faster, more efficient. Cardano, they're trying to make it faster and more efficient. Same thing with Dogecoin. The goals are always the same: faster in terms of transaction speeds, more efficient by lowering costs, and also just making it more energy efficient, better for the environment. These are common things that are the same for all cryptos, whether you're talking about Dogecoin, whether you're talking about Ethereum, whether you're talking about Bitcoin. It's just Elon Musk has been tweeting more about it. And the important thing here is that everyone was thinking that Elon Musk was losing his influence over the crypto world because he had tweeted a couple times recently and we hadn't seen any major reaction. But following what he said about Dogecoin, we saw the market increase dramatically. And now we saw the price increase dramatically. So it still shows that, you know what, maybe he can't push the price up 20% or 30% like he used to, but still people care about what he says. And at the least, they at least listen to what he has to say about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything like that in general. In addition to this, you can see right here, tweet on July 8th, so what, just 48 hours ago, about just a meme of Elon Musk and crypto. So we're still seeing him talk about crypto. Obviously, you guys got to remember, he has so many projects he's working on. SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, Boring Company. Sometimes he forgets to tweet about crypto. Sometimes he doesn't have time to tweet about crypto. Imagine being like one of the richest people in the world running $4 or $5 billion companies. It's like his last concern is Dogecoin. So everyone thinks he's like so pro Bitcoin, so pro Dogecoin, and he is, but it's like, remember, he's running so many other companies that he might miss out on a day or two tweeting about crypto. Like, did you guys even see? You might have saw, I did a video on this yesterday, but they were supposed to have released a new full self-driving update version, like full self-driving version 9 beta was supposed to come out at midnight Pacific time yesterday. So we'll see if that came out. I haven't looked at it this morning, but I want to see if that came out. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on with a key thing coming up, which is with regards to Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and its unlockings. So right now, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has monthly unlockings, which essentially is when anyone who holds GBTC, like institutions, can go ahead and sell their positions. And the important thing here is that many analysts like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, all of these firms are coming out and saying that this is a huge risk to Bitcoin in the short term. They're saying that this month, the month of July, is going to be the biggest unlocking ever. There's going to be over $500 million worth of GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, that's going to be unlocked. We have never seen that much unlocked before. And essentially, people are getting worried that institutions are going to sell off their positions, because essentially what the unlocking means is that all these institutions that bought in, they had to wait 6 months. Their 6-month period is now up, and now they can sell it if they want to. That's going to take place on July 18th. But the thing that I like to look at with this is that right now, all the companies that are going to be able to sell their positions now, that are going to be affected by this unlocking, are companies that bought in 6 months ago. So if we look 6 months ago, GBTC, which follows the price of Bitcoin, was at $38, $40, like $34. No matter where we look in the last 6 months. So these are people who bought it, let's say, in January. Anytime in January, the price of GBTC was higher than it is now. So that means they've lost money. So people who say that this Grayscale Bitcoin unlocking, which is taking place on July 18th, is going to negatively impact Bitcoin, I think are completely wrong. Even though it is $500 million, it's over 16,000 Bitcoin that's going to be unlocked that people can go ahead and sell on July 18th. The problem is that all the institutions that bought in and that are going to be affected by this, they're losing money. So do you think that people who bought into Bitcoin 6 months ago that are now going to be able to sell are going to say, oh, okay, I'm just going to sell my position and I'm going to lose 20% of my investment? No, I don't think ARK Invest, because they're one of the companies, I don't think they're going to sell. I don't think any major institution that bought into Bitcoin 6 months ago is bearish on it now and are going to sell their position, because ultimately most people, most institutions that are getting involved in Bitcoin right now are bullish on it long term, and they're definitely not going to want to sell for a loss of like 20 or 30%. So in my opinion, I just don't think this event on July 18th is going to have too much of an impact on the market. So yeah, so basically what it is, July 18th, any institution who invested 6 months ago into GBTC can now sell, but there's a lot of FUD being spread around it, and I don't think we are going to see them sell because they would be losing a lot of money unless there's some sort of tax benefits for them to do it, which there isn't, because it's not even close to the end of the year. So I don't know. I just don't think they're going to sell because it would make no sense. They'd be losing money, and like ARK Invest put a couple, like I think $200 million in during that time period, or $100 million in, and ARK Invest says that Bitcoin will reach a price of $500,000 per coin. So I just don't think we're going to see them sell that off. Next up, I want to go over one story with regards to what is going on with, I think we'll go over what's going on with Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys saw this the other day, but first of all, there's like been a lot of major partnerships going on with crypto exchanges. There was like a partnership with the UFC and Crypto.com, a partnership with FTX, and a partnership with the Miami Heat. But there's been a lot of partnerships going on, more to come. But first, before we go over that, I want to talk quickly about what's going on with this story of a man who accidentally threw away 7,500 Bitcoin on a hard drive, and his new plan of actually retrieving it. I don't know how this is going to happen, how he's going to do this, but he essentially threw away a hard drive, threw away a computer with 7,500 Bitcoin on it. If we look at the current price of Bitcoin, Bitcoin right now is at $33,000, right around $33,000 per coin. So 7,500 Bitcoin. See how much money this guy lost. 7,500 Bitcoin is what? How many zeros is that? One, two. Is it $2 billion? Two, or is it 20? I can't even. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's $253 million. That's what it is. So he's basically threw away over $200 million in Bitcoin. Crazy. And what we're seeing now is that he threw this back on an old computer back in 2013, and he says he's not given up on finding it yet. He said even though he threw it away almost 10 years ago, he's still trying to retrieve his coins. I don't think it's going to happen at all. I think it's just never going to happen. But essentially he said that, this is what he said: we have a system with multiple conveyor belts, X-ray scanning devices, and AI scanning device that would be trained to recognize items that are similar in size and density to the hard drive. He threw it away. And so now what they're doing is he's been searching the city's landfill using X-ray scanning devices and AI technology. Ultimately, this guy's not finding it. It sucks that he lost hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin, but the problem is, if someone's sitting outside in a landfill, it can start decomposing. It can start rusting because of rain. It's not happening no matter how many machines you have. Even if he did find it, it would probably not work. It's probably under hundreds of layers of other landfill and garbage, and it's not happening. But essentially, He says, we've spoken to the excavation experts and proper engineers to make sure it was all being done correctly, that we're still doing everything safe for the environment. He says that over the past 4 or 5 months, he's been talking to some of the best data recovery experts in the world to make sure they can get it off the hard drive, but like it's a needle in a haystack. They said they have over 300 to 400,000 tons of waste to look through. Like, come on. I get it. But first of all, I can't even imagine how much money it's going to take to find it. How many man hours, how much heavy equipment and they're going to have to use to sift through all of this garbage. You need all the expensive machines. You need to have all of these people working on it. It's like a whole business trying to find 7,500 Bitcoin on a hard drive that may not even exist anymore and probably is rusted out and possibly not even able to get it off. It's an entire business where they're going to be spending millions of dollars. But despite having this plan, the thing is, the Newport City Council says that he cannot search for the land. He cannot search through the landfill. He can't look for it. So he has this plan. He's wanted to search for it. He's even gone there and looked before, but ultimately he offered the city council $76 million, and the Newport City Council said nope. The cost of digging up the landfill, storing and treating the waste could run into the millions of pounds without any guarantee of either finding it or still being able to work. That's exactly what we said. Council stated that the excavation is not possible under our licensing permit, and excavation itself would have huge environmental impacts on the surrounding areas. Here we go. 246 million. Crazy, but definitely 100% that drive is not being found, not going to work if they did find it. And even if he somehow can convince the local government to let him to mine through, like let him to search through it, it could take years. 300,000 tons to 400,000 tons of garbage to find one single hard drive that could have been crushed in a truck or by something else. It's not gonna. And it was in 2013. I don't know. I saw the story like literally right as we were starting the stream, and I'm like, let's talk about it. I didn't even read through that article until we just spoke about it. But it's crazy. Crazy. Next up is wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this, but I think we should. Something with Apple's co-founder Steve Wozniak talking about Bitcoin. So I read this article earlier about Apple co-founder saying that Bitcoin and blockchain in general is a mathematical miracle. He said that right now that he would compare crypto to sort of what is going on with the internet when the internet was first started. And this is interesting and exciting at the same time, because even though he said he's not a Bitcoin investor per se, because he didn't really want to disclose his exact thoughts about it, but he did say that, look, even if he is or isn't an investor, ultimately he believes in Bitcoin and blockchain technology for the future. So that's pretty exciting, because even though like he was an Apple co-founder, he's revealed in the past, back in 2018, that he's working on a couple of crypto projects that were very involved with Bitcoin in the past. So he's talked a lot about Bitcoin. This is exciting to see from someone who has had such success in the tech world, building companies early on the internet. When the internet was first started, he was building the Apple computer. They started Apple, decades ago, when the internet was just in its early stages. If you look at the back of the first pictures of an Apple computer, they look like they're just bricks. They look like bricks. But essentially, he said he is very bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most amazing mathematical miracle. He said the thing that he finds surprising about it is that it's so independent, completely decentralized, and not one company, not one regulation, there's not one country, not one company, not one person who has ultimate control over Bitcoin. He says, and that's what makes it so great. He says, it's almost like the internet when it was first started, but something that's pretty interesting to see someone with that much success in the crypto world and that much success building something on the early internet say how he's very, very excited about Bitcoin in the future. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens with that. What is up, Jason? Allison, what is up? Rasta. Andre. Yeah, Andre, what is up? Antonio, Frederick, Andrew. What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great day. If you guys can, please be sure to throw the video a like. It helps me out a lot. Let's see how many likes we can get this video up to. I have a couple more topics I still want to go over. Let's see if we get the video to 100 likes first. We definitely can, because there's more than 100 of you here. So it just takes some of you guys hitting that like button. And we'll continue to move along, chug along, talk about a couple of things with regards to this week, what's happening with the market, and a couple more things. Let's just see if we could first get it to 100 likes. And right now we're at just about 70. Okay. Let's see if we get that up to 100 likes, but I got a couple more stories. I want to talk about a Bitcoin bull, someone who predicts that Bitcoin will reach $400,000 per coin, and how he also is saying, so he says long-term, Bitcoin of 400,000, but in the short term, he's saying that Bitcoin could crash to $15,000 per coin. That's what he's saying. Michael Bravo. Oh, we got a lot of news on NEO later today. Later today, I have a video coming out on NEO. That is huge because NEO just had their Power Day event yesterday. So I'm putting that video out. It should be the video right after this one. So in the afternoon. Very exciting video on NEO. So make sure, Michael, to just keep an eye out for it. I think it's going to be called NEO. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be titled yet. But it's a very exciting announcement about NEO's Power Day event, which took place yesterday. They revealed a couple of plans moving forward. And then also yesterday I posted a video on NEO and their expansion plans into Norway. It was just a video while I was on a hike, so it doesn't look like a typical thumbnail. It was just literally while I was walking. So make sure to check that one out as well. But anyways, right now, Scott Minerd, a billionaire person who is the CIO of Guggenheim, he came out and said that Bitcoin could crash as low as $15,000 per coin. And the important thing about this is that he is not someone, we spoke about this the other day, but he is not someone who is a Bitcoin bear. He thinks Bitcoin will reach $400,000 per coin over the next couple of years. So for someone like him to say short term, he sees us having a big correction in crypto, that's just not a great sign. Yes, it's fine, he doesn't know for sure, but ultimately, he is someone who is very bullish on crypto. He says Bitcoin will reach $400,000 per coin. This is someone who's just as bullish as Cathie Wood and ARK Invest. $400,000 per coin would mean that Bitcoin is 10x from where it is right now, would have a market cap of $6 trillion, almost $7 trillion. And so for someone like that to say, look, short term, things aren't looking too great for crypto. Short term, I could see it dropping to between 10 and 15,000. This is someone you want to just listen to because it's not someone who's just so negative on. He's someone who looks like is very, tries to be very unbiased, just objective about what is going on, looking at the data. And what he said is, look, a normal correction, a normal sell will be 40 to 50% when we look at the history of crypto. But the thing is right now we already are down 50% from all-time highs. All-time highs were around 65,000. He said right now we're down to about 30,000. So we are right around 50% drop from where we were. But he says, look, in the past we have seen multiple times where there have been a drop of about 70% or even 80%. So that would put us right around 10 to 15,000. When we look at the history of Bitcoin and crypto, there have been about a dozen different drops of 50% or more, and about around 4 drops of over 70%. So he says this time looks like we are in that category of having a 70% drop or 70 to 80% drop. It doesn't mean he thinks Bitcoin's dead or crypto's not going anywhere. Essentially what he's saying is, look, we've already seen it drop 50%, and the indicators for him, at least, don't look too great. I would disagree. I would say yes, we have been in we have been just trading between a pretty strong support and resistance, between 30,000 support and about 40,000 resistance. But ultimately, I think this all it takes is the SEC coming out, approving a Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF, one positive catalyst coming out, and I think that would push the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it would start another bull rally. So I think, you know what, it's nice to listen to him, nice to see what he has to say, but he definitely could be wrong. Like we spoke about earlier, there are a lot of technical indicators that are indicating, there are a lot of technical indicators right now that are showing that Bitcoin could see a bull run very soon, between that Puel multiple, which we talked about earlier, between what's going on with the 100-day moving average and us potentially crossing the 100-day moving average, and between what is going on with also whale addresses being adding a lot more. But here's the chart. When we went over the 100-day moving average before, if you guys can, if you want to stay on, I'll stay on if we get the video to 100 likes. I'll definitely stay on a little bit longer. If we don't, we'll just head off. We'll go work on getting that video up for Neo, up for Michael. Michael Bravo asked about Neo. So if we get the video to 100 likes, I'm happy to stay, happy to talk with you guys for a bit longer. If not, then we'll probably head out, work on a couple more videos, get those out to you guys. I have them already scheduled and ready to go. So you guys let me know. If we get to 100 likes, happy to stay. But so right now, let's look at the market while I'm waiting to see if you guys want to stay or not. But right now, what we're seeing is the market now has turned a little bit down about 0.75% for the market. Bitcoin, everything's really just flat. 0.7, anything less than 1% up or down in a different direction really isn't much of anything. And right now what we're seeing is with the crypto market, yesterday, today, it's 1% either direction, isn't much. Not too big of an impact. The only big mover, if we look, okay, maybe Uniswap down 5%, Polkadot down 2%, Solana down 5%. So those three coins are down, it's a decent amount. Internet Computer is down 6.5% when we look down here. But yeah, that's what's really going on with crypto. We didn't get into 100 likes, so I think we'll just head off for now. Obviously, you guys we'll just head off for now. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We gave it a couple minutes. We didn't reach that 100, so I'm gonna head off for now. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what topics you want me to talk about in the next video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys a little bit later for a couple videos on Neo, Tesla, and a couple